Welcome to CZ2002 myStars project demonstration for the course Object-Oriented Design and Programming. We are from Lab Group SS10. This is our team photo. The members' names from left to right are Atul Acharya, Parthan Muralidharan, Ankitha Anil, Nisha Ramasubramaniam, and Srishti Arora. So before we move on to the project, here are some of the objects that we've created. We've created 15 student objects. You can see their passwords in this slide. Then we've created 5 admin objects, and these are the passwords in the slide. We've also created 5 courses with around 2 to 3 indexes for each. So now we'll dive into the project. Firstly, I'll be showing you all the login functionality. So I'm going to log in through a student account and type an invalid password. I just type password. And as you can see, it gives a good error message saying the username or the password is incorrect. So I'm going to try to write the right password now. The correct password is 56 harmony exclamation mark. And as you can see, the password has been masked. But I'm still not able to log in because the current date is way past the registration period. So I'm going to log in through an admin account and change this. I've successfully logged into the system and I'm going to edit the access period. I'm going to set the access period to be from 1st January 2021 until 20th January 2021. So let's see what happens now. I've successfully updated the registration period and I'm going to log in through a student account again. And I'm still not able to register for courses because the current date is way before the registration period. So the test cases work and now I'm going to fix the registration period through the admin account again. I've set the date to be November and I successfully updated the registration period. And now once I log in through the student account, you can see I've successfully logged into the system and I can use it properly right now. So I'm going to view the vacancies for the course CZ2002, index number 10829. And I'm purposely going to type in the wrong course code and the right index number to see what happens. It says that the course doesn't exist. So now I'm going to type the correct course code but an incorrect index number. And you can see this index doesn't exist in the database. So I'm going to type in the correct field for both, correct details for the both fields, and let's see what happens. As you can see, the vacancy is 1 out of a possible 10 because we've registered 9 students beforehand for demonstration purposes. So now I want to add the course, and to do this I simply type the course code and the index number I want to add. And since there's one vacancy, I've been registered and it sends a notification to my email saying that I've registered. And now when I print my courses registered, it displays the correct details and with the message registered, and now I can view my timetable in calendar format. And as you can see, there are classes on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 lectures and a tutorial. Now since the vacancy has dropped to 0, I'm going to log in through another student account and register for the same course to see what happens. So I'm going to add the same course, 10829. And no more vacancies are left for this course, and I've been added to the waiting list for CZ2002, index 10829. Okay, so I'm now going to go, before that, now I'm going to go to the previous student account. And I'm going to add another course, this same course with a different index number. And it says that I've already registered for the course. So now I want this index number, but before that I want to drop the course. So I'm going to remove 10829 and it deregisters me from this course. And this index has been removed from the registered list, and the student who was on the waiting list has been registered for the course. Now if I print my timetable, as you can see, it's empty because I've deregistered. And now I'm going to go to the other student and print his timetable to show you what happens. So I'm going to print, and he's been registered for this course now. And if I print his timetable, you can see it's the same index number with the same classes. So now I'm going to I'm going to change the index number for this guy to 10829 to 10034. and it's deregistering me from him from this index, and he has been registered for this index now. So once he prints his timetable, you can see that the index is different and that the lesson timings are also different. So now I'm gonna go back to the previous student and I'm gonna add the course but a different index number. I'm gonna add 1010219 and it has registered me and it tells me to update the timetable. Now I'm gonna swap an index with the previous student. So current index 219, the current student name, the other student username, and his password. As you can see, the password has been masked over here, and the index he is registered for. So it's deregistering me from this index, and it's removed. And then the swap has successfully happened, and we get the notification that we've been dropped, and then we've been added to a new index. Now, when I print my timetable, you can see it's become 1034 instead of 10219. Okay, so now I'm going to add software engineering with the course code of CZ2006, index number 10129, because we've made the lesson such that it clashes with CZ2006, index number 10034, and the current student has registered for this index number, so we can show the clash functionality. So I'm going to add the course CZ2006 10129. As you can see, there's a clash with my current course and it hasn't been added to my registered list. So I'm going to print my registered list. As you can see, it still remains the same because of the clash. Okay, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to add a course but with an invalid course code. That means the course code that doesn't exist in the database. And as you can see, it gives me a correct error message saying the registration has failed and that this course doesn't exist in the system. So I'm just going to add another course, CZ2005, with the index of 11983, and this exists in a database, so I've been successfully added into it. So now I'm going to request for overloading of courses. So what that means is I can email any of the admins and it tells me how many AUs do I require for this semester. Let me say I want 24. That's clearly overloading, and it asks me to justify my reason. I can say that I can handle the pressure, and it sends an email to this admin, and the admin will get back to you shortly. So this is our additional feature that we've implemented. So now I'm going to show you the admin functionalities. So for admin functionalities, I will go back and log in through the admin account. And I've already edited the access period before, so the functionality has been tested, so I won't go through it again. So I'm going to add a new student who already exists in the database. So I'm going to add Atul, ATUL0123. And we can just write some random values here because it's not gonna matter. School 2. And it gives me an error message saying the system cannot add the student as the student already exists. So now I'm gonna create a new student. Let's call him Ryan. Let's give the year as -1. So it says study year can only be between 1 and 4. So it has not added the student into the database yet. So we have to do it again. So I'm gonna create a new student. SCSC and study year 1, and his password we'll just call it password. As you can see, it's been masked here also, and so Ryan has been added to the database and the system prints the students in the database, and Ryan has been successfully added at the bottom. Alright, so for the next functionality, I'm going to add a new course into the database. So first I want to add CZ2003, but I'm purposely going to add CZ2002 because it already exists in the database. So let me call it OODP. Academic Units 3, School of Offering SCSC. And as you can see, it gives an error message saying that the course already exists and that the system cannot add this course. So I'm going to retry 3 this time. CGV. And I'm gonna write -1 for the academic units. And as you can see, it gives me an error message saying the credits cannot be less than 1. So I'm gonna retry it by putting all correct values for all fields. Computer graphics and visualization. Sorry, I that wrong. Academic units 3 SESC. So now it adds to the list of courses in the database computer graphics and visualization. But sadly, the number of index numbers are 0 right now, so we have to add them right now. So I'm gonna update a course CZ2003, and I'm gonna add a new index. I'm only gonna add one index for demonstration, 1001. Vacancy, let's say 10. Yes, I'm gonna add a session. I want it to be a lecture on Monday, starting time 11:30, ending time 12:30. Venue LKC, and I don't want to add any more sessions, so I'm gonna say no. And now I want to view all the students in the database. So when I do that, this is what it prints. And I view all the list of courses. So once I view the list of courses, I notice an error. Human computer interactions index number CZ2005 instead of CZ2004. So I will modify that right now. Update a course. Right now it's CZ2005, so that's what I want to update. And I'm going to change the course code. And the new course code is CZ2004. And successfully updated the course, and it prints the updated course. Okay, so the next functionality that we're going to test is the print student by course code. So it's a requirement for the project. So I'm going to print the students belonging to CZ2002. As you can see, there are a lot of students who've registered for this course. And I'm gonna print the students who registered for human-computer interaction, because one person had registered for CZ2005, and now since the course code has changed to CZ2004, I want to see if it still works. And yes, it works. The student has been successfully printed. So now I'm gonna print the student list by index number. And there was only one student who had registered for index 10034. So, yep. So it prints the correct student details. So we've successfully printed the student list by the courses and by the index number. So the last thing we want to see is, because objects are reference type, we don't know whether the association has been successfully updated. Yes, the course code has changed to CZ2004 for human-computer interaction, but we don't know if it's reflected in the student's timetable. So we're going to go and see that. And we're going to print the courses registered. So as you can see, it prints the correct course code from 2005. It's changed to 2004. So we've successfully updated the reference inside both the student list as well as the course list. All right, so this is it for the test cases, and we are done with the demonstration. Thank you.